This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, next week, Essen Spiel is here. Now, all the way inland, far, far away from North America, this amazing convention is going to be held, and it's time to start talking about the games that I'm most anticipating that are coming out at this fair. So without ado, let's get started. Now before I get to my top 10, I want to mention two games that would have been on this list but are not, and why. First one is Kingdomino. This is from Blue Orange Games, designed by Bruno Cathala. The reason why it's not on my list is because I already reviewed it because I had one of the two advanced production copies that I got my hands on at Gen Con that I reviewed before, so it's not going to be on the list because I already know about it. I've already played it a bunch of times, I've already reviewed it. This is a game where you're building your own kingdom using sort of domino type tiles, where instead of numbers and pips, you have different areas like fields and water and castles, and you're trying to build your 5x5 grid up. You're building up your own kingdom using these dominoes through an interesting drafting mechanism. It's an excellent 20-minute filler game that has more to it than it looks and has a lot of depth there that would have made this list, but it didn't because I've already reviewed it. The other one is the expansion for Time Stories called Expedition Endurance. This is set in Antarctica and set during the World War I time frame. Anything that comes up for Time Stories is going to be on my list. It probably would have been like number 1 or 2 because I just love Time Stories. It was my game of the year last year. I think it was supposed to be coming out of Essen, but from what I've seen, it might be there, but from what I've been told, it's not coming out until October 28th, which is after Essen, so I took it off this list because I want people to be able to get games that are actually being sold there. They might surprise us, and if so, well, this was my number 1. But I don't think it's going to be there, so it's off this list, but it's amazing, and I can't wait for it. So let's get to the top 10.
Number 10.
Now another one in my top 10 is another game in this series of Carcassonne. They've done these Around the World series where they have, South Seas and Gold Rush, and different ones like that, and I've liked pretty much all of them that have come out, and I love Carcassonne. I like how it's just a lot different from all the other versions. It's not just another little mini expansion, but usually they change quite a bit how the game is played, just like all those other versions. Feels like Carcassonne, but yet always feels different, and I like that. And so this one is one that I'm interested in. It seems to have this element of racing where you're trying to get points, but at the same time you're trying to race down the river to get more points, to be the first one to get to the end. Interesting aspect of speed versus strategy. And because I like the Carcassonne series and all of them, this one's on my list.
Number 9.
This is Fog of War. Now this is a game designed by Jeff Engelstein, coming out from Stronghold Games, and I'm not typically into his war games. I only own one war game, 1775 Rebellion, but I do like historical games, and there was something different about this that really made me say, It has this like programming mechanism where you have this wheel and you're programming actions, and then you have to wait because that wheel will turn over a certain amount of turns, and you're going to be doing that action sometime in the future. You could try to do it a little bit earlier than you're supposed to, but it's not as good. Or you can do it a little bit late, but then the defense has heard about it, and it's still not as good. And it's trying to be efficient with your actions, trying to guess what's going to happen, a little bit of programming, a little bit of guessing, a little bit of bluffing. But it just seems so fresh and different that this definitely made my list because it looks like it's doing something that I've never seen before. And hey, maybe I'll like another war game, and that's Fog of War.
Number 8.
Now the next one is Dice Stars. This is designed by Bruno Cathala and Ludovic Malblanc, my favorite designer duo. And this is a quick dice game where it looks like you have interesting decisions to make with abilities on the dice, and you're combining either the same colors or the same symbols to get different abilities to do different things. Anytime these two touch a game, it's going to be on a list because they have done some of the best games I've ever played. Love these two guys. Now this is going to be coming out through Matago at Essen, but then WizKids is going to be bringing it to North America. And because it's those two guys, because it's a dice game, special abilities, I just know it's probably going to be great, so it's on this list.
Number 7.
The next one is also a Bruno Cathala game. You might see his name a few times on this list. He's my favorite designer. It's called Kanagawa. This is coming out from Yellow. I already played it once, and I did a sneak peek and a mini review where I kind of showed you how the game's played a little while ago. You can click this above me or in the description of this video to see that. And this is an interesting game because it has a really interesting bidding auction mechanism, has a little bit of press your luck, and it also has this thing of like pushing your luck for bonuses, like sort of like Augustus, where you would say, hey, I met this bonus. Do I want to take it now, or do I want to try to be the first one to get to the next level of this bonus? But if I don't get it, then I'm shut out of it. Has that mechanism in there. Has some beautiful components. Actually has like a bamboo mat that's part of the components. Has amazing artwork. You're lining up this painting. In the whole game, you're a painter, painting these great sceneries, and you're trying to match up all these different things to gain points and abilities and bonuses. It's a really good game. It's 45 minutes and it looks like just a light little card game, but there's a lot more here than meets the eye when you first look at it, and it's deeper than it looks. And it's an excellent game. Even though I've only played it once, I know I'm just going to continue to unlock the potential of this game, and that's why it's on this list, because I want to play more of it, and that's Kanagawa.
Number 6.
The next one is called Fabled Fruit. This is a design game by Friedemann Friese. Yes, the same guy did Power Grid, so of course it's going to be a green box, right? It's being put up by 2F Spiel, of course, in Germany, and Stronghold Games is bringing it to America. And I'm really interested in this because it sounds very different. It's called a Fabled game, which is somewhat similar to a legacy type game where as the game goes on, the game will change, but it's not destructive, and you can start over with another group with no problem at any given time. This is a game that looks like it's like an entry-level worker placement game where you're placing workers on cards that will allow you to enact certain abilities, and you're gathering resources of different fruit to try to create fabled fruits. And you're going to different spots, gaining resources, doing special abilities. But the cool thing is after you're done with certain cards, new ones will come out. So each game you're going to see some new actions, and as you play this game over and over, up to 20 times, you're going to have new actions coming out. So the game will evolve, it will turn differently, certain cards will leave and certain cards will stay, and it will just change every time you play the game, and it will morph into something that's more complex as the game goes on. And it just sounds like a really cool idea where you can have this sort of legacy style type of thing without destroying it and being able to start over with any group. But yet it looks like it might be the entry-level worker placement game I've been looking for that has a nice light theme, not Dungeons & Dragons, Lords of Waterdeep fans. And that might be light enough, but then as things go on, they can grow into it, and we'll love it too as gamer enthusiasts, and that's the Fabled Fruit.
Number 5.
The next one is called Sola Fide, and this is a 2-player card-driven game designed by the same guys who brought us 1960, Making of the President. One of them brought us Twilight Struggle. A lot of those, Founding Fathers, another one. I love those card-driven games. I love all those games, but they tend to be pretty long. You know, 1960 takes me 2.5 hours, 2 hours to play. This one's in 45 minutes, but after reading the rule book, it looks like the mechanisms are similar. A lot of the game is in the strategy of the cards, but you're trying to get territories and gain influence over different territories during the religious revolutions that was going on there back in the day. And so it's historically based. It's not a simulation of what happened there from what the rules say, but it's just trying to enact that theme against the Roman Catholics and others. And it seems like a very interesting thing. And anytime these two guys touch a game, I'm going to be interested. But to have it be a 45-minute game, can they streamline what they usually do? Ooh, if they do, this might knock 1960 off my shelf. Let's see, and that's why it's on this list.
Number 4.
The next one is designed by Antoine Baza, and guess who? Bruno Cathala. This is the expansion for Seven Wonders Duel. I have played it once. I actually gave a sneak peek of how it's played and a mini review because I played it once at Gen Con. I want to give my initial impressions. You can watch that review here by clicking up here or in the description of the video. And this is, the expansion to Seven Wonders Duel. We're at Pantheon, where it adds a new board, and you're going to be drawing these cards and placing them on this board. And where you place them decides how much it is for you versus the opponent. If it's close to you, it's cheap for you but expensive for the opponent. If you place it the other way, it's cheap for them but expensive for you. And so these cards enact different powers depending on the type of card they are. Red do military, green do stuff with science, and it just changes how the game's played. It changes how to think, because before, when you flip over those cards, the other player would get the first dibs, but now when you flip over something, there's a token which will allow you to sort of do different things in regards to those cards. So it makes you think completely different. Money is even bigger in this game because of this. And you won't play the game the same without it. So I played it once and I loved it, but I'm eager to try it some more and really spread my wings in this one. And that's Seven Wonders Duel Pantheon.
Number 3.
Next one is Escape from Colditz. This game came out before I was born originally. I think it came out in 1973. It was partly designed by a major that actually escaped. He was one of the handful of people that got out of Colditz in World War II, and he helped design this game back in the day. And Osprey Games has been on a roll lately, bringing back older games or making newer games even better. Escape from Aliens in Outer Space, they did a deluxe edition this year. Excellent job. Brought back Odin's Ravens and streamlined it to the point where I think it's better than the original, and I'm hoping they did this with this because the game has an oversized board, has new components, hand-painted artwork, has some interesting replicas of historical items, is what it says. And also they have the original rules, but they also have some new rules, which I'm really looking forward to because anytime you can streamline and distill stuff down, especially one that's an old classic that's historical, which I love history, I love historical themes. It's one player versus all, where you're trying to escape out of here, and I love those types of games anyway, and it's historical, and if they streamline it, this could be huge. So, Escape from Colditz from Osprey Games.
Number 2.
Number 2 is a game that I saw and played a little bit at Origins, and then I played a full game of it at Gen Con. This is a Euro game that you can trick your Ameritrash friends into playing because it is a first-person shooter, but it's a Euro game. It's called Adrenaline. It's coming out from CGE, and I just absolutely loved my only play of this so far. It's like a first-person shooter, but it's really resource management. You're going around the different spots. You're gathering cubes that will help you reload your weapons. You're going to shops to gather these weapons, and they do all sorts of cool things like pulling people into rooms and then hitting them up. Some of them do a lot of damage close up, some of them do it from far away. They all have different special abilities, and you're trying to basically put blood points on other people. You get extra points for being the person that actually killed them. You get points for overkilling them. And then every time a new rule was given to us in this game as the game went on, we're like, oh, well, this is how this works. We all went, oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. This is what happens at the end. Oh, cool. Everything they did was just awesome. It's designed amazingly. It's such a great game. And I cannot wait for this because it looks awesome. It felt awesome. And I want to get the production copy in my hands. And that's Adrenaline.
Number 1.
And my number 1 is a card game. And it's based off of a very popular game, which is in my top 10 of my all-time, Power Grid. This is Power Grid, the card game, put out by Friedemann Friese. It's going to be out by 2F Spiel. They do all Friedemann's games there in Europe, but I think Rio Grande is going to be bringing it to North America. And from not only because it looks like it's going to be a distilled, streamlined version of Power Grid, but everybody I've talked to that has played this says it's amazing. Mike Fitzgerald, I talked to him at length about this after he played it at the gathering. I've read some columns that people have written about it, and everyone pretty much says the same thing. That's like, wow, they figured out a way to distill Power Grid down to like a 30 to 45 minute game, but yet it feels very deep. It feels very much the same. It has a lot of the things that I really love in Power Grid. Sure, there's no board, there's no network building, it takes all that out of the game, but to get 90% of the experience in less than half the time, that's what people are saying it does, and for me, that's amazing. That's what I always love, is when things are streamlined. Sure, give me 90% in half the time and I'm all about it, and I already love Power Grid to death, so this is possibly one that I'm going to be over the moon about, and it's why it's my number 1, Power Grid the card game. Well, I hope you enjoyed that overview of my top 10. Maybe you learned about some games you hadn't heard about. And if you're going to the fair, check them out. If not, look them up and try to get them as they come here after Essen. And we'll see you next time.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.